Hi, my name is Stuart Michael Belgrave, and I'm making this video basically as a spiritual public service announcement to let people know that the higher dimensional beings that they believe in, that you've heard of, do exist. I'm coming as Stuart Michael, the physical incarnation of basically Archangel Michael. That's who I am. That's who I've always been, and I want to let people know that people who are maybe they may disagree that maybe I'm not this person. Let them know that I existed before the name. Me as a person existed before the name, so I may not, like, physically may not meet your expectations of what you would expect Michael to look like or sound like or be like, but this is who I am, and I basically want to explain to you my spiritual journey in this lifetime and previous lifetimes before that as well. I've come across many memories within the last couple of years. I've had many experiences throughout my entire physical life in this lifetime, and I'd just like to explain to you at first how I got to this point, and then I'll begin to explain to you my memories later on in the video. I wrote this paper here, basically with all the points of my life, spiritual markers, stamping points in my life where, something happened that, made me think, or I realized certain things, or I had recollections. So I'm going to go on with the video and let you be the judge of, and allow you to discern and see what resonates with you. Alright? So my name is Stuart Michael Belgrave. Stuart, which is a servant, Michael, and Belgrave, which is my last name. I am 23 years old. I turn 24 tomorrow. That's another reason why I'm making the video, is because I promised the universe that I would make the video before I turned 24 years old, and today is the last day, and I want to carry out and fulfill my promise, even though I may have procrastinated a little bit. But the reason why it was in good faith, because I felt as if I needed to do things for myself to change certain bad habits that I may have had, negative ways of thinking that I may have had before, and just overall just do better for myself, treat myself better physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and heal as much as possible between that time and now. So I'm at this point now where, it's the end of the road when it comes to that process, and it's time for me to let people know, basically, that I'm here, that I exist, and who I am. So, with that said, I am Michael, also known as Canis. The reason why I have this name is because, well, people know me as Canis here on this planet, but the reason why I have this name is because I was the wartime king of Sirius during the Orion Wars, and that was my name. And the reason why my name is doubled is because it's royalty, and so my name was Canis, and the star system, which is Sirius, is also known as Canis Major or Canis Minor as well. But Sirius, I'll explain to you, more about that later on in the video. My path into spirituality.
I want to interrupt anything, but you got a lighter on you?
No, sorry about shit. Yeah, so my path into spirituality started from my childhood. Basically, when I was 5 years old, 4 to 5 years old, I had I had a dream about meeting a giant like praying mantis, basically, and that was quite interesting. And the way I remembered that was because like a few years later, one day I was watching Animal Planet, and I saw a praying mantis. You know, they're basically describing it, and I was shocked by the size of it. It was so small. Yeah, it was my first time seeing a praying mantis, apparently, like while I was physically incarnated here, and that kind of threw me off, and I was surprised, you know, and I just accepted it because I didn't know. I don't ever like physically remember seeing a giant praying mantis, so it is what it is. So I just, you know, I just pretty much accepted it as it was. At age 8, I had my first conscious memory of looking into the sky. I guess it was a past life memory, looking into the sky and seeing like jacks. They were like ships. They looked like jacks, and they, you know, and the jacks that I'm speaking about are the ones like you play with a ball, like back in the day. I guess the 90s or so. I guess it was more popular, or maybe before that. I'm not sure. I was only born in '94, so that's what I saw. The ships, they appeared everywhere, and they looked like jacks. And that was my first conscious like memory that I could not explain, like something that I could not explain at all. And I heard, at 12 years old, I heard this name in the show called Andromeda. I heard about Andromeda, and for some reason it just resonated with me so deeply. I couldn't understand why, but it just felt right, you know. And besides that fact, I have always been interested in space and science, astronomy, everything like that since I was a child. Very deeply interested in those things. You know, I've always been like that. I started walking at a very early age, talking at an early age, everything. So just want to put that out there. At the age of 14 years old? No, 15, I think it was. 15 years old, 15 going 16. I had my first, that was the first time I heard about Illuminati, like, you know, the conspiracies and all these things. And I never heard of anything like that before, but within me, I always had like this deep calling, knowing that I was meant to do something special. I just don't know. I wasn't consciously aware of what it is. Neither am I right now. I'm not consciously aware of what that could be, but I just know for a fact that's the case. So I decided to look into it deeply. I had my computer at the time, and I just kept on searching Illuminati, all these different videos. I heard so many different things, and that's when I realized that there's something really going on, and something is not right. You know, I thought things were perfect, but then that's when I realized things were not as they seem, and it started to make a lot of sense. I had basically stopped looking into those things because I couldn't find any new information. So that was 2010, 2011, and I didn't look back into this type of information until 2013. And 2013, I heard about Comet Ison, and I was expecting it to show up, like everybody was expecting. They were talking about it so much in the news, and basically, when it never showed up, it made me question, reality, question everything, and it was weird because everyone just stopped talking about it, and I just figured that they would continue to talk about it, but it didn't. So I basically started doing research into the computer again about comet ISON, things more extraterrestrial, not aliens or anything like that, but extraterrestrial, like meaning space, just like questioning things out there, like what's really going on. Why didn't I not see ISON? Why did no one hear about ISON ever again? So I started questioning things, and then I came across this video by Barbara Marciniak called "Bringers of the Dawn," and that video resonated so deeply with me. It was crazy because then I was like I've heard of reptilians before when I was looking up Illuminati and all that stuff, but I didn't believe in it. But after that video, I'm like, yo, wait a minute, something real is here. Something is really going on here. So I basically started doing a little bit more research. I didn't have to go too far, to be honest with you. And I ran into the Billy Meyer, his contacts that he was going through. And I heard a lot of stuff. And I seen a picture of a Pleiadian. And it was basically this, blonde hair, blue-eyed, like pretty much like a perfect face. And for some reason, this being just looked so familiar to me, deeply familiar to me, and I couldn't understand, why this person looked so familiar to me, but it really resonated with me, the picture of his face. I basically started doing more research into it, and I looked into Tantarum. It's a YouTube channel called Tantarum, Tantarum, called Tantarum, and basically I found a lot of audiobooks on the subject regarding like Lyra and Pleiades and a lot of different audiobooks regarding extraterrestrial subjects and like galactic history. I actually have the books listed here, to be honest with you. This 1990 book called Prism of Lyra, and these are all under that channel in Tantarum. And they have Talsetti versus Dalgrace, and then War Hero from Procyon, Motivations and Activities of Extraterrestrial Races, Lost Continent of Atlantis, Dulcie books. It's like 6 of them, 3 hours long, but I mean, a lot of these videos are like over an hour, at least 45 minutes long, and it really takes patience to listen to it, but if you're really looking into these type of things and you looking for new information and you want like a vast amount of information, like how I usually go for it, that's like a good place to start. But the thing is that you have to discern a lot of information, a lot of it. You have to discern what is true, what they mean by certain things, because certain like books, like for instance Prism of Lyra, they put things all together, and it doesn't go into detail. It doesn't explain who they're really talking about at certain points in the video, but they really overall they really get it pretty accurate stuff. Yeah, 1992 book Prism of Lyra, very good. And Procyon information is like 1 and 2 books, are 2 parts, and the Pleiadian letters from Andromeda. So these are all the audiobooks that I listened to on Tantarum, on that YouTube channel. They have a lot of good stuff. So after hearing all of those things, I basically started going deeper into spirituality, looking into myself more, trying to understand myself more, understanding what's going on around me. I started looking up into the sky a lot more at that point. You know, started appreciating nature, especially the stars in the sky, our own sun. And I started spending more time, like at that point, I had like my own apartment, and we had rooftop access, and so I spent a lot of time on the roof, and you know, like soaking up the sun. When the sun would be going down, I'd just sun gaze. I'd stare at the sun for a long time, and you know, my eyes got used to it, and it was very easy for me to do. My eyes are still used to it. Actually, I don't do it. I haven't done it in a while, and I don't do it consistently since then, which was 2013, 2014, and my eyes still adjust quite well. I don't have a problem staring into the sun, like past maybe 4 or 5 o'clock, around that time. So that's that, and yeah. So I had that experience, and then one day I was on the rooftop, and I basically had a sighting. Me and my friend, we were up there, and one day this huge disc of light just appeared right in front of us. Like, I can't explain to you how far it was. It was above us and in front of us, but it was coming towards us. And this disc of light literally appeared and disappeared, like as it was approaching us, and disappeared. It was huge, bright light. It was like a fluorescent light, but you can tell it seemed like it was a higher dimensional being. Like, it wasn't like it was a UFO technically, but that was something else. That was different. That was real, you know. But you can tell that it was more of a light than it was something, a physical object. So that was a hell of an experience that me and my friend had. He was standing in front of me with his back towards me, and I was facing his back and looking ahead in the same direction towards the sun, the sunset really. And he looked back and asked me if I saw that, and I was like, hell yeah, I saw that, you know. And so we both confirmed it for ourselves that we both saw it happen. I remember another UFO experience I had in 2013, late 2013, was I was on the rooftop, but it was late at night, and I looked up. I decided to look up randomly. I looked up, and I saw this UFO, like this light shoot across the sky. It just went from one end to the other end, just like that. You know, on the rooftop you can see both ends, with the both horizons, and it just shot past. It was so fast.